one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting, West Burlington City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Christie?
Here.
Crowner?
Here.
Heitmeyer?
Here.
Lees?
Here.
Waterman?
Here. Before we go any further, I just want to express my sympathies on behalf of the community to Jesse and his family for the loss of his dad here last Friday. So we need to perfect and approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Crowner?
Aye.
Heitmeyer?
Aye.
Lees?
Aye.
Waterman?
Aye.
Christie?
Aye.
Motion carried. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve, but I'd like to pull item 10.
10.
Seems to me we approved that on a special meeting on May 26th. I found it in the minutes. Well, I don't know if it did not go through at that point, but I don't like to pay twice.
No, he said in his memo, I think something about, let me see.
There was two things on that. Well, anyway, we'll pull it. Was there a second? Support.
Yeah, there was a second already.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Heitmeyer?
Aye.
Lees?
Aye.
Waterman?
Aye.
Christie?
Aye.
Crowner?
Aye. Motion carried. Council staff reports. Okay, Greg, you got anything?
How long do I have? Sure. I'll just mention a couple items. Been focusing on projects this week. I think I've been to all of the project sites, met with each of the engineering firms. Mike has given me a tour as well. I was looking at ARPA funding, the COVID funding today a little bit as well, getting some more information on that. Going to be working with Spear Financial and putting some information together on our projects, updating our project sheets to include potential funding for each of those projects as well. Bring that back to council for discussion, also helping putting a CIP together. Asbestos is starting today. I might be cutting into some mics here. I'd like to thank Public Works for the quick work they did on the cleanup following the storm on Friday. And I think I'll save my last one for one of the agenda items that's coming up. So, but we're keeping an eye on the year end as well. Obviously, we want to make sure that the budget's in line, and so we're keeping a close eye on that.
Anybody have anything for Greg? Mike?
We've been working on cleaning up some stump grindings. We had to rebuild the pump on the paint machine. Been working on painting on the onlys and arrows, patching. Started some demo inside Pat Klein bathroom house, getting rid of old plumbing and stuff. We're going to be patching the wall in there where we don't need a hole. Still waiting on the units. I was told they'd be here this week and they're still not here yet. Hauling all the trees and brush to the landfill and logs from the storm. Made a pretty good mess. Tomorrow we'll be shutting the tower down. We're replacing a broken hydrant out on the corner of Gear and Agency. We're having a big water loss yet. We haven't found the main break. We're worried it's a meter down there at the South Booster Station, so we're going to leave the tower shut off and run off a line pressure on Burlington over the weekend. So by Monday, we'll see if our usage comes down, then we know we got a problem with the meter head and the reading down there. If not, we're still looking where the loss is going. By doing that, line pressure from Burlington will only keep us at 22 foot in the tower instead of 27 foot. But I've worked with Sean and the fire department. We're on call, so if they get a fire, we'll be in. We'll shut a valve we need to, open a valve, and we'll turn the pumps on immediately if we need it. So in case of a fire, we'll be okay. May notice a little pressure difference, not much. I don't know, most people probably won't even notice it, but still looking for the leak or the consumption. We haven't had any luck with that yet. The water tower, last section of the tower was poured. They'll be pouring the cap on it, putting the ladders inside, the stainless steel pipe that'll be stubbed up for the bowl on the top. The crew that's here should be done by the last week of July. They pack up and leave. The steel will start coming in and being laid out on the ground. September 14th or the 12th, the welding crew will come in and start assembling the bowl on the ground. They're welding it together. And by my understanding, then it gets painted on the ground, and then it goes jacked up and welded into place, and then they finish painting after the bowl's lifted up. So it's moving along pretty good. South lift, Lindsay talked to Iowa Pump Works today, is where the pumps we're waiting on for Tom's backhoe to finish that. She said to Lindsay today she has no idea where they're at. Tom informed me that he was sure we'd have them this week, but I don't know where they're lost at. I was told they were in testing, and I haven't got an answer where the pumps are at for the south lift station. Lewis, they'll be starting the wall at the end of Meadow Street, which is the footing to hold the pavers in the road up there, on Friday. Daly's supposed to be moving in. Roughly 7 to 8 days to put that in. And then it'll be a week of putting the subgrade and drain in, getting ready for the pavers and the matting, which is supposed to start July 12th. Laying the pavers, when they start that, 5 will move over to the creek restoration and start on the creek side. At that time, if we're working on both sides and they got to come through the park with the plumbing, we could end up with a closure to that park for a short time. I'll keep you notified. We'll make a public notice and stuff when that's coming up. I told them to give me plenty of time to notify people on that when it comes to that. Landfill's doing startup tomorrow. They have everything installed and hooked, so they'll be starting up that, testing that, sending some to us and getting it all go. Like Greg said, asbestos removal started today. They told me roughly 3 weeks and that'll be done, so that building and site will be ready for demo. The striping company is supposed to be in here the last week of June, the 1st of July. I meet with Bob from Pelling next Wednesday. They're going to be moving in on this last week with their equipment to start the seal coating on the alleys in the last week of June. That's it.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm like Greg, I'm just trying to give you the top headlines here. There's a lot going on.
Thanks for your help, Mike.
Nathan?
We don't have any at this time.
Hey. Time is down. Got any questions, Kathy?
I had a question for Mike.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wondered, do we know how much water we're losing on that?
Right now, around 400,000. It's summertime, so it's usually higher, but we got a problem somewhere. We've been in the creeks, checking Beaverdale meters, hospital meters. There was a leak in their fountain. We had them shut their fountain down, made a small difference. We've been looking in storm sewers. We don't know where it's at. We're been going on this last week and this week. Troy's been crawling down through timbers out in Beaverdale and the poison ivy, checking flow in creeks. We're coming up with nothing right now. We got a little extra flow still going into the south lift. So we're really working in that area right now. By the hospital, we shut down the new 12-inch that was put under gear early this spring that feeds the new building at the hospital because they could go without water for a few days. So just in case there's a leak by that sanitary or that storm and it's going down that and we can't see it, they allowed us we shut that down for 3 or 4 days, see if that makes a difference too. If that don't make a difference, then I know it's not there. We've had this happen before and it finds a storm sewer somewhere and it's impossible to track until it makes its way to the surface. I'm hoping it's something wrong with our meter by shutting this tower down over the weekend and we find out it's just our readings and we're not really using that much, but I'll keep Greg posted on that come Monday, what the readings are and where we're at with it, so.
Okay, thanks. I went to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting a couple weeks ago, and we'll talk about the subdivision that they talked about that night. They also that commission decided to start meeting quarterly from now on. They've been meeting on a need-to-know basis, or a need-to-meet basis, which they still will do, but they will also be quarterly. Also, I took the tour yesterday with Hal out at the Des Moines County landfill and recycling facilities. It was interesting. I'd been on that committee in the 90s, and it was interesting to see, how much change there had been since then. So I really enjoyed that. And also, I'd just like to say another thing about our 4th of July activities coming up. I'd love to have entries for the parade. It's going to be a fun time, so you can either come in, if you'd like to be in the parade, come in, there's no entry fee, come on in and fill out a form, or you can go online. So we'll be glad to see you there on the 4th of July. Thanks.
Sean, you got anything?
I'm in between the two as far as length of period. Just the highlights, issued a small handful of permits, a couple burn permits, 2 outdoor market permits. One will be over at Farm King, the other one usually puts up over at Westland Fast Break. Fresh produce for people that want to come get that, and then patio permit. I have been working with the college on the new addition that they're looking at wanting to do to the west side of the gymnasium. It'll be a student center. You will notice that they are currently doing some dirt work out there at the college. That is a road that was on a previously approved project. They've gotten a permit on that. They're putting a loop in around the backside of the dorms for future expansion. Also working on nuisances, got a few of them where I contacted some contractors to get the lawns mowed. They're supposed to get those finalized, all wrapped up this week on some of our bigger ones that are just not responding well to our notices. The fireside Tower 1 is going to be fixed the latter part of this month. The air conditioning unit's working when it wants to, not when we want it to. And then we're going to be having our pump tests, annual pump tests and annual flow tests on our SCBA that we have to get for OSHA regulations. That'll be done at the end of the month. And that's the short version of everything, but there's a lot more. I've been keeping Greg up to speed with what's going on.
Mayor, if I might?
Go ahead.
Just to follow up too, we've been chatting as well regarding the programming that we have in the building for permits, for rental inspections, for nuisance. We wanted to see if we can't eke out a better, better reports that we can provide to the council as well as staff. So we're going to be working on that, see what we can't get to get more detailed and reports on everything. So, and hopefully we can get nuisance included in that, but as well. So,
Anybody have anything for Sean? Okay, Kelly?
I will mention one thing, the Untangle payment that's on the consent agenda. We did approve that purchase on the 26th. This is just the actual payment because it's over $1,000. We just added the claim on there. It's not going to be a second payment. This is just
Because it
the
was,
first payment.
it was on the 26th, and I thought if we approved it then, we wouldn't approve it again.
next time.
Yeah, it was just,
It'd be a good item to just put on the claims list
yeah.
Right.
going forward.
We approved the renewal, but they didn't actually cut the check, or she's not making the payment until, is that right, Angie? Just now making the payment for
Yes,
that
that's
Untangle?
correct.
Just the one payment, though?
Just one payment, correct.
Okay, just checking.
The other thing is, the last day for registration for the citywide garage sale is Friday. I think they had 35 signed up for the citywide garage sale. That will be June, the last Saturday in June, 26th.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 26th.
We've put it on Facebook a few times. It was in the newsletter, but just a reminder that that deadline's Friday.
So that's a week from this Saturday?
Yes.
It's June? June 26th.
June, the last Saturday in
Yeah,
June.
the 19th is this Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have I have a September calendar.
Coming up.
The last Saturday in June. 26th, yes. Sorry.
So then I need a motion then to approve that item 10 under the consent agenda.
So moved.
Support. Motion with support. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Crowner.
Aye.
Pipemeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Angie, you got anything?
I put the 21-22 budget books in front of everyone. If you've got any questions, just let me know. So, got it.
Okay. Kathy, you got anything else to add?
I'm sorry I went out of turn. I thought I heard the mayor call my name. So I guess I'm hearing things now, too. Sorry about that. I apologize.
I knew you wanted to ask Mike a question.
I know.
Just kept going.
Once I start, that's,
Well, it was a good tour. I hadn't been out there in a couple of years myself, so it's a good refresher. Andy, you got anything going?
Yeah.
4th of July?
I got just a little bit. I'll try not to talk about this too much every week, but 4th of July, I just want to thank a few people and do a couple pre-registration items. So just Kiwanis, thank you for stepping up for the pancake breakfast. We're still going to have the kids' games. The Girl Scouts have stepped up to do that since we're not going to have the inflatables. So been working with the Girl Scouts, and they're going to come in and run a bunch of free games. The West Burlington Athletic Boosters and the Fine Arts Boosters. The Broadway is going to be running the Bullfrog Race as usual. And then Two Rivers and Deary Brothers, thanks to both of them for continuing to sponsor the event. And we're going to have some great entertainment and a real full day, and hopefully we get some good weather for it. I'm excited to have it back. Thank you all for your help as well, everybody here in this building. I just wanted to mention real fast, there are forms available here in City Hall and online where you can go and sign up for things such as the craft and vendor show, the bike races, the cruise display, the bags tournament. We should be having a link up there to sign up for that, which is new this year. The parade forms, and to get raffle tickets. You can stop in and buy those here as well as a lot of local groups selling them. So that's it. Hope to see you all.
Deal. Coming up fast.
Very, very fast.
All righty. Anyone wishing to address Royce? Phenomenal.
I'd just like to congratulate the SEC men's soccer team for being national champions.
Yep, they did a good job.
Yep, they did great.
Third year in the program and pulled on national championship. Reese?
Just for my part of the 4th of July, bike races will be off and running. We'll get things moving. Thanks to Bickles that they're providing or cost sharing the bicycles that they provide for us every year. We have 4 bikes, and I've wrangled Kathy and her husband for helping at the bike race this year. And I'm sure my new city administrator will be more than happy to come and help put the medals on the children that win first, second, and third place. And then I've talked with Walmart and see about sponsoring the kids' parade. And they'll hand out 3 gift certificates, $25, $15, and $10 for first and second, third place for how well they decorate. And the parade should start 15 minutes before the big parade, and we'll start them off at Ramsey at the elementary school. So decorate your bikes, your wagons, your Hot Wheels, whatever you got, kids, and come on down.
And Ramsey just the Broadway then, right?
Right. I don't think I can walk further than that at that point.
Al, you got anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Now, anyone wishing to address the council on matters that are not on the agenda tonight? Okay, we'll go to new business. Item number 1 is to consider a resolution accepting the Houston Street resurfacing project and release the final retainage to Norris Asphalt and Paving Company. And I think Matt and Greg are recommending that we release all but $1,000 of that. So instead of releasing the $16,461.51, we would release $15,461.51.
Your Honor, and just to clarify, it would be the $15,461.51, and then the remainder payment upon repair of the curb
Curb.
section at Houston and Summer.
So moved as amended.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Knightmeyer,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 2 is to consider resolution of authorizing the filing of an application for the Iowa State Recreational Trails Program funds for Phase 2 of the Gear Avenue Trail.
Regional Planning's not here, but I put together kind of a summary. There are 2 portions to the trail, and they have on let's see, it's like page 2 of their application, they've identified the funding sources, which leaves number 2 and number 3 as the city's match, subject to those grants. I'm not asking for a decision tonight, but I've gone through, we've looked at the fund balances, I've indicated where they are at present, and likely are at the end of the fiscal year. At this point in time, I'm suggesting hotel, motel, and local option sales tax funds, but I don't need any council action at this point in time. This is where I wanted to mention the reimbursement resolutions. You've done those before. In talking to Spear Financial, I think it makes some sense to do some additional reimbursement resolutions for projects. And all those do is simply say that we, as a city, we may bond. Not that we have to bond, not that we're going to bond. It just preserves our ability to bond should the city choose to do so for that project or for several projects. And that allows us to move forward and for the council to make a decision on exactly what all gets included in the bond at the appropriate time. And then just one other time, in talking with Spear, I typically would recommend that you go out for bonds in February, March of each year. You'll get better rates by doing that, and that's why if you do additional reimbursement resolutions, we can hold off and do it less and get better rates.
Can I ask on the trail itself, as it kind of gets close up to Houston, what's the point of cutting across that north property there instead of going all the way to the end there down the frontage road? It kind of cuts straight across.
Andy, I'm trying to pull it up. I was
Yeah.
looking at that earlier.
I'm having trouble pulling it up right now
I
too.
can't
but-
get it up either. Looking at it, the way this format is on this. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. You mean that purple thing
Where
of
it cuts through
Houston?
the lot there on the corner.
Yeah, it cuts through the northernmost lot to connect back up.
Good question, I can find out for you.
Okay, I just didn't understand why it didn't continue following it and just do a cross there, or go around all the way on the south side of Houston and then connect it across, but.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, does it? I didn't see that this morning.
I'll follow up and let you know.
And then, just general thoughts on it. I'm really in favor of this, and I like the way this is done, because you can't cut any further north than where this leads off, because you're into the middle of that cemetery then, and there's no frontage there to work with. So I do like this proposed plan, but I wish we had a sidewalk that went around the south side of the mall, or at least a marked off area, some somewhat safe way. I know we have a lot of college students that live in those apartments over there if you continue on southeast of the mall. And I see them walking all the time out to SEC, and they have to walk out in the road. So I just wondered if that was talked about during this trail at all. And I know, Greg, you probably weren't here for all of it, but.
I think part of the problem is that if that's still private all across there, that road,
Yeah,
and
that,
that end of the road is not, is the malls after.
Right.
There's only a short section there on the east side there that got paved in, that belongs to us.
Yeah.
The rest going west from there to the outer ring road doesn't belong to us.
We have no right of way through there at all. is the
Okay,
problem.
none, okay.
Yeah.
And just as a side note, the trail needs to be 10-foot. You can't do a 4-foot sidewalk and receive funding through the trail grant programs.
Okay.
What's your pleasure here?
Motion to approve the resolution for authorizing the filing of an application for Iowa State Recreational Trails Program, Funds Phase 2 of Deer Avenue Trail.
Support. Motion with support. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Lees,
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 3 is consider pay request number 3 from Boomerang Corp. for work completed on the Mount Pleasant Water Tower and Booster Station Improvement Projects in the amount of $314,165.
Motion to approve is presented.
Support. Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 4 is consider payment of Snyder Associates for engineering services related to the Lewis Park Water Resource Restoration Sponsored Project in the amount of $15,591.84.
So
Motion to approve.
Support. Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 5 is to consider 3-year right-of-way permit for CenturyLink to install fiber on North Gear, about 1,369 feet of it.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? This is going to serve food liners, maintenance building, or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Roll call.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 6, consider resolution authorizing an internal advance fund from the general fund to the tax increment fund for legal fees and the related costs in the amount of $3,276.50.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion of support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Crowner,
Aye.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now, we get to pay it. Consider payment of Dorsey for legal services related to 2020 urban renewal plan amendment in the amount of $3,276.50.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 8 is consider resolution setting stipend for the West Burlington volunteer firefighters for the fiscal year 2021-2022.
So moved.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Lees,
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 9 is consider purchase of a B3 standard radar unit for the police department, amount of $1,999.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie?
Aye.
Crowner?
Aye.
Pipemeyer?
Aye.
Lees?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 10 is consider resolution approving a final plat for the first edition of Marantha Gardens subdivision.
This is a final plat that the commission has looked at the Christian Church at 545 Melville. They're just wanting to subdivide 2 lots just south of the church building. It's in a residential area. I think they already have interested buyers for both of those lots.
Can you walk us through the sidewalk conversation?
Earlier, we talked about doing it.
Either way, go for it.
Earlier, we had talked about requiring sidewalks in a new subdivision over on Long Meadow and Penn's Landing. I think that kind of sparked a little bit of discussion about whether or not to require sidewalks. On these lots, the one that will front Vernon Street, there are no sidewalks on that side of Vernon. There are on the other side. It's a dead end. It's not going to go through because it's kind of butting up against the neighboring subdivision. And then on Melville, lot number 2, which these squares are a little bit off on here, but where the sidewalk would be installed, it's already a parking area. It's already concrete parking there. So they're really, to tear out the parking and put a sidewalk in didn't really make much sense at this time. We talked about developing it.
Yeah, if it was developed, or at such time as it was developed, to, at that point in time, require sidewalks in front of that lot and the adjacent residential lot. Or the city could add it to its sidewalk program. I believe you budget a small amount, $5,000 or so for sidewalks. So,
That's if they would take out the parking and put grass in that right of way, we would require a sidewalk to be, we could require a sidewalk to be installed there. And I know at one time.
So what would the setback be then from there? If somebody was to build a house on that,
It's the same.
on lot 2?
35, I think it's 35 front yard setback from the lot line. And the sidewalks are installed in the right of way with the back of the sidewalk up against the lot line.
if it was residential unit, the parking should go away, sidewalk would be replaced, but and then sidewalk on the adjacent property as well.
The sidewalk wouldn't go on the private property anyway, it would go in the right of way, and that's where the
Right.
parking is already located.
But what happens, to have access to the street, if you're building a home in there with a garage, where's the driveway gonna be? I mean, somewhere you gotta cut out, so say if they put the driveway on the north side of the lot, that's gonna eliminate parking then on the south side, right?
Like the
The way I look at this.
church part, where the church is
Yeah.
using, yeah, I mean, it would, for sure.
Parking would go
The
away.
parking doesn't really belong to
It'd have
anybody.
to, I know, it'd
Yeah.
have to go away.
Parking would
right?
have to go away, there'd be a curb, there'd be sidewalk that would have to be installed there, and to fill the gap with the adjacent residential lot as well, because that would leave a gap of one lot.
Then
So
the house just south of that does not have sidewalks, so there's a little section there where there are no sidewalks connecting now.
It looks like it does, though, doesn't it?
Just
It
that one lot.
stops right before it, right at the driveway.
By ordinance, the city council can require sidewalks, or obviously you can come up with, the city can have a sidewalk program too, so you have options down the road.
Then my other question is, don't we have some utilities in there somewhere? Wasn't there?
Yes, there are, there's easements retained in here for,
Didn't see
sewer.
that on the map, though.
It's not gonna be on the, well,
Are they on the south side?
Yeah, they run straight down the south side.
There's a 10
To the
foot,
back
you'll
of
see it.
that, and then they turn and go north towards the church between these 2 lots they're trying to sell off.
It's on there, it's just, the actual easement's not on this lot too, it's just south of that. It's
Okay.
on the neighboring, it's between that and the lot to the south. But then Lot 1 has, you'll see a notation there for a 30-foot wide easement for public utilities, kind of between the two, between Lot 1 and then the subdivision to the south. We did, that does retain those easements.
Okay.
My only concern with this and not having the sidewalk discussion now is I would really like to have a sidewalk complete up one side of Melville at some point in time. And so I hate for, I don't know what's gonna happen with those lots, but let's say that neighbor buys them and never plans on putting a house on them, okay? I hate for that to sit there forever and never have a sidewalk. Now, I know obviously we can go in and demand it and do something, but I'd rather us plan for it now while this is happening.
They'd have to take out the parking.
Right now, in order to, if we would require that now, they would just have to remove the concrete parking lot and put concrete sidewalk there, which is
Right.
kind of
Curb and gutter.
putting concrete, taking out, I mean, it's just more like designating that's the sidewalk through there, but,
Church still, my understanding was the church still plans to use it as parking for the meantime, but at such time down the road, yeah, you'd want curb gutter sidewalk included in there, absolutely.
you could
And
do
you've
that
got two
one.
different options. You can require it, or we can come up with funding to do that in those three different areas as well, at any time.
Is that something that could be done at the time that it's developed, like through the building permitting process? If a house goes in there, it'll be flagged as it needs to be.
If you want it done sooner, then, I mean, the city can always do it as well. So. You can require the property owner to do it as part of this process, so you do have that ability.
You're talking about Vernon Street, right? Andy, or
No.
Melville?
Melville, yeah. Vernon, with the sidewalk already being on one side of Vernon, I'm fine with that. I just always think they should have one way through at least one side of the street. In that area right now, there's just no way to walk without going out into the street.
Mainly, it's the house to the south is where they have to get off and get into the street rather than, I mean, they can get over on the parking when they're walking, except on Sunday morning probably. That's probably the house to the south is more of an issue as far as having to get off the sidewalk and into the street.
I tend to agree, whenever you can have connectors and opportunities to do so, I think we've done it in the past, or, come up with a sidewalk program and prioritizing safe routes to school, prioritizing connectors where you're missing sidewalk. I mean, we could certainly revisit that as well, come up with a plan of attack on that.
I think if they're willing to put it in the market, they're probably gonna be somebody looking to build houses on there, so might as well have it subdivided.
This is not public information, well, like I said, the meeting adjacent property owner, right?
Yeah. Right now, I think there was more interest just in the adjoining property owner taking it, but that doesn't mean in 2 years they won't turn around and try to sell it. But right now, I think, I mean,
That's what was indicated at the meeting. Mhm.
short of just having them replace parking with sidewalk, you're not really accomplishing anything other than, because it's not gonna be extending it past this one lot. think we talked about during budgeting too, what side to put the connect, where to, I wasn't sure if we decided which side was better, one or the other.
I thought the church side was better just because that sidewalk does go all the way to the middle of the church already, where on the other side, it stops there at the White House on the corner, and you're all the way through an entire parking lot the other direction. I'm okay with going ahead and approving this tonight. I think we are helping and paying for sidewalks at the beginning of Melville, and so I'm okay with us in a year or 2 or 5 years or whenever it becomes a priority, finishing that up and doing that single house and those two, or that one lot and the south side of the church there as well at some point. But I would like to get that done, but I'm all right going ahead and approving this. I'll make that motion to approve.
Second.
Motion with support. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Hightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Waterman.
Aye.
Christie.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Motion carried. All righty. Under old business, I got item number 1, which is to revisit the master fee schedule. Mainly talking about a fee for re-roofing. Right?
Right.
Everyone that wanted it,
I know.
so take it ahead. Well,
As we sent out our newsletter, it was in the newsletter that people could put another layer of shingles on their roof without a $25 fee. And I think for us to cut into that at this point in time is like putting the cart in front of the horse again. We need to finish, we need to continue, we need some continuity in what our fee schedule is. Now, I know a lot of people think $25 is nothing to sneeze at until you look at the price of shingles, and we do have quite a few elderly people living in our town still. And I would like to see my citizens continue to maintain their houses, and if they need a new roof with just shingles, I don't want to start making them pay. Now, Sean had a good idea where they do a permit with no fee so that he can keep track of it for the county courthouse. When you go to buy a property out here, you want to know when you put the roof on. And, he brought that up, and I'm okay with that. But I think I would just like to reword this and remove shingles and just leave roof for no fee. And then when we say roof, the new metal roofs are out and about, and a lot of people are getting the metal roofs. And I would think that would fit in that category under roof. But, if you have to go in and tear down all of it and put in new plywood and all that other stuff, then there should probably be a fee for that.
so why don't you make a motion then to approve this resolution and not to remove the shingles only under that section and just have roof and remove the $25 fee.
Well, I will make that motion.
Okay, I got a question though. We have complete roof for residential, $50.
That's if you're taking down sheeting and everything else.
That to remain $50?
I think when you're taking down sheeting, you're
So this is
need to
a,
get a permit and
At that
pay a
point-
fee.
I mean, at that point in time, you're talking reconstruction, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
so this is just another layer of either metal sheeting or shingles or roofing material on top, okay.
I have a couple of other comments, too. Number one, it was really helpful to have the old schedule that we could compare it to. It made it a lot easier. I noticed that there's another thing that got added that isn't in yellow, though. Under building and zoning, a Board of Adjustment hearing is now a $45 charge.
We've always done that.
Oh, we have? It
Yeah.
just wasn't on the schedule?
it may not have always been on the schedule, but we've always charged a $45 fee for a Board of Adjustment.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was.
No, it's
already-
not on the old schedule. I was comparing them to today. so
Yeah.
I didn't see that either.
I don't know why it wouldn't have been, because that's been that way for a long time.
Okay.
It might have just got missed being pulled out of the code and into the master fee list.
Okay. And another.
I'll go back and just check and see, maybe, I don't know why, it wasn't something new, it's,
Oh, okay.
something that
I
we've
thought it
done.
was, since it wasn't there before.
yeah, no, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, and one thing was also listed in two places, I don't know if we wanted it that way, the construction trailer dumpsters, $25 for a 2-week period. That's under business license permits and also building and zoning.
Oh, it only needs to be in one place, and it's
Okay.
not new, so we'll eliminate one of those.
For the building, also the building and zoning permits, the first thing I think it was, let me see if right-of-way excavation permit, $50 per square, and it was changed from yard to foot of excavation area.
Yeah, that is just, it's hard for them to even calculate how, they always tell me square feet, how many square feet that they're working in, rather than square yards. And the fee is minimal compared to what some of the right-of-way permit fees are. And actually, that's one of the things, I talked to Greg about, maybe we need to go back and relook at our entire section about right-of-way permits and excavation permits. So that may come up later too, some reworking of that.
Okay, and one more thing that wasn't yellow, so I don't know if it was new or not. It looks like, I thought it was, under utility fees, the credit card refund. Is that a new thing, or?
5% of the transaction being refunded.
I don't.
I got that written down as new also.
Yeah, and it wasn't on the old sheet, so I just
The credit card
wondered.
refund. That has happened one time, and I think that, let's see, we talked about this, we started this reworking of this fee, I might have just missed covering it, but we had a credit card, somebody used a credit card once, and it was probably like a $2,000 or $3,000 water bill, and then they accidentally overcharged it. Well, the company charged the city that percentage. So this is just kind of a in and out for us. It's not additional for us, it's just recouping what they charged us for reversing it.
Okay.
I had one question, and I guess this is just the way I look at this. I want my neighbor to upkeep his property and make it look better. And so if there's not a cost associated with us actually doing something, and I understand we have some of Sean's time in some of these things, I would be for not charging a fee if it's just I like what we have on sidewalks where there's no permit fee, and I don't know why if they go to put in a new driveway, which makes my neighbor look better, why I'm charging them $25.
There is, as far as going out and us doing the curb cuts for driveways,
Okay.
our guys go out and do that. Sean should probably go out going out and measuring,
Okay.
making sure they're doing the inspection of that.
Okay, just an example, or, putting new siding on his house, that's $25. And again, I know that's not much, it's just my principle of it. I want my neighbor to put new siding on his house, because it raises the value of my house.
I know driveways, there's a little bit more to it. I'm not sure what Sean does for siding.
Siding is just, they put in the permit and then I'm watching them put it up. It's not really, I don't have to stand over them. Compared to a driveway, you put in a driveway permit, Mike has to look at it if they have to do a cut. If the cut's already there and they're just replacing same, I go back and I verify that they replace same instead of trying to sneak in an extra 3-4 foot. And I verify that they do the 3-foot flares on the two sides. Or, there's a little more involved in a driveway than there is siding.
Yeah.
Replacing siding on one side of a house, a couple pieces here and there. I've had several calls this year. People had wind damage, storm damage for it. I'm like, you're just doing a 10-foot square area, 3 pieces of siding, whatever, make it happen. Don't worry about a permit from me. We want you to have a good house and get it fixed up. An entire house going from wood clap to siding, that's a $25 permit fee. And that, to me, it makes sense on that one. But just doing a repair, no, you shouldn't have to. We don't do a permit for that.
So, you made a motion? Did you?
Yes, I did.
I don't know if we got a second yet.
No, I don't have a second.
Royce supported. Any further discussion?
So I
Roll
only
call.
have the roof in this motion, the change to the,
Right
okay.
Oh, yeah, there was one more thing.
The 25, okay.
The park restrooms, $50 deposit. I thought we said 25. We preferred, or am I?
I can't
We
remember.
charged 25 before, didn't we?
We did, I'll have to go back and look. It might have been 25 for the keys for the ones that we had before. It's a refundable deposit, so.
I was just thinking it might be not that easy for some people to come up with $50 just to go, you know, have a family gathering. I think 25 is a lot more reasonable, in my opinion.
Yes.
Have we had a problem getting the return?
We haven't been renting out because we just have had porta potties until we're getting these new restrooms in. But I'm not returning the key necessarily, just to try to prevent them not.
Damage?
They definitely want their $50, you know, they definitely want their money back, so it just kind of helps them keep
Well,
track.
usually people
25 is
write
what-
you a check and we hold the check, we don't cash it.
Oh, is that what they do?
That's what we encourage them to do. It's just easier
Yeah.
than processing
We
it.
don't cash
Oh,
the
okay.
check and we just
Okay.
give them the check back.
Either way is
Unless
fine.
there's damage.
Yeah, but if there's any kind of damage, $50 isn't gonna.
Is even gonna come
Close to
close
covering
for
it.
me to clean up the bathroom and fix it again.
Well, yeah, but this is just,
Yeah.
I still like $25 a lot better. I don't know about anybody else up here. It just seems like a friendlier thing to me if our people want to use the park, not to say, oh, $50.
My suggestion on this, I like lowering it to, I actually think we should leave it high at first and see what issues we have with the redo, and then back it down, once we see we're not having issues.
We now have that bathroom up running for probably another month, maybe?
I have no promises.
Well, let's see what it does, you know, for this season. Then you can always lower the fee. Encourage everybody to write a check and just hold the check. That's, anything else? Roll call.
So I'm just doing the one motion, the one change
Yes.
still, okay. That, unless we're trying.
There's been no
Okay,
other motions.
okay. Waterman,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Pipemeyer,
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Motion carried. Anyone else have anything on their old business, or anyone wishing to address the council matters that we discussed or didn't discuss tonight? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Andy.